Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. In today's video, I want to go over the newest thing that has been added, and it's kind of like a change in the game, and that's going to be the Pillar of Trials, and with that, the tempering of gear, because now it's a little bit different, right? The Pillar of Trials used to give something else, right? There were some different rewards, some different things. However, they improved that, and it made it be a lot better and more interesting, so let's check it out. So when we have a look at the Pillar of Trials right now, it is a little bit different. It used to be they're all open every single day, and you would unlock like first day was 10 stages, then you'll go like 2, 2, 2, then 5, and you unlock more and more. However, this time around it has changed a little bit, and you pretty much still have the same 3 different ones, right? Pillar of Permafrost, of Resplendence, I think that's how you read it, it's a weird word, and then the Wildfire. So as you can see, they all have different cooldowns, which means you have one of them, then the next day you have the other, then the next day the other, and then they keep rotating. Now, I'm not 100% sure if they there are certain days when all of them are open, but I think it's just one every single day, and they keep resetting. And obviously, you're going to be using only the ones from different, from the elemental pairings, which, for example, for the Permafrost, if you go in there, as you saw, I got to stage 12, the Permafrost one is pretty much the same that you click over here. It's going to be your ice plus necrosis. So you have to build a team to be able to beat the stage and get to the boss, obviously beat the boss, and then you're going to get some rewards that will drop. Now let's check a little bit, I guess, the info of it, just to, get some more details, I suppose. So you go into Pillar of Permafrost, it just says the introduction. The Pillar of Trial features 3 types, the ones that I mentioned. Participating, you can obtain rare item, tempering fluid, which can be used to enhance your equipment. Now, obviously, this equipment enhancement can be extremely game-changing. It can be really good, and it's pretty much part of the min-maxing towards the, late end game of the game, where you would use these resources to get your gear to get to the next level. Thus, over here, the entry requirements, to unlock the trial challenge, you must complete whatever you need to do before. It's a space created by shifting elemental affinities. Each type can only be challenged by heroes of the corresponding elemental affinity. So like the ones that I showed, each challenge requires 1 key of resonance. Keys of resonance are automatically restored to 6 daily at 5 AM. Additionally, you can purchase extra 2 keys of resonance from the shop. Now, this is really important to keep in mind, and this might not be as obvious, but you 100% want to make sure you buy them daily. From my point of view, at least up until, we push more into it, or maybe after you get to the highest stage. So, for example, now that I'm at 12, if you see over here at the top, I still have 2 out of 6. I can click the plus, and I can buy 2 more. That's just 40 more Maro. It doesn't seem like that much of a waste, and these 2 can give us, all of these rewards that can be really good, and they're definitely going to be game-changing. Now let's finish reading this one. So Pillar of Trial rewards, different Pillars of Trial award different types of tempering fluid. Each pillar also has multiple difficulty levels, high difficulty, richer reward. So obviously the goal is to try and get to stage 12, right? Get to stage 12, which honestly, it kind of seemed pretty easy for me. As I showed you, the team that I used was, nothing too crazy, and I can beat stage 12 to be pretty easy, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you get the highest leveling one, right? The number 3, right? Tempering fluid number 3, because if you go on lower stages, you can get number 2 and whatnot, but obviously the higher you get, the better the reward. As an example, you see this one, the number 2, it gives 2 from 2 till 4 crit rate, whereas this one 3 to 5. So obviously you want to get to stage 12. You also get the chance to get a reset fluid, which this liquid with no elemental learning can use to reset unwanted tempering attributes. So we're going to do that. I'm going to test it. It's my first time that, I'm doing this and testing it. I've not done it on the test server, so we're going to be doing some testing. But from what we can see over here, the rewards that drop, it's pretty much different stages or different pairings drop different things. So for example, the Permafrost drops crit rate enhancement, it drops accuracy enhancement, defense percent, and then flat defense. So this one's going to be really good, obviously, for the crit rate one. Then if we look at this one, the Pillar of Resplendence, which again, I'm going to butcher it, but this one drops I think that's what is it? I think that's HP or resist. That one's, again, more HP, and then this one drops attack, crit damage, and then enlightenment, and I think that's more HP. So each of them drops some different things. Definitely keep that in mind. But obviously, because they drop daily, you're going to be trying to farm these every single day, and you're going to try to get to the high stage. power of stage 12, and then just use, use all of the keys plus buy the ones like I mentioned. Now, let's go and have a look at exactly how those boosts work. So for, let's say as an example, let me just go to one of this. So I have this Gambler Glove that's crit damage, defense percent, whatever. It's not the best. If you go to click upgrade, you're going to see you have Elemental Ascension, which, you know what, that one's going to be a different video, or I'll see how I include it, but this one's really powerful as well. But then you have the Temper. So when you click Temper, you're going to see it shows you over here. It's crit rate, defense percent, flat attack, and attack percent. These are all the substats that can be improved. So as an example, if you look at the crit rate, the first one, which is the lowest level one, can improve from 1 till 3% crit rate. The second one, 2 till 4. And then the third one, which is the most powerful, 3 to 5. Now, obviously, you ideally want to always get the highest one, but you might just use the lower level one as well for some, offset builds, for not as important ones. And this one is, just to clarify, you're going to see this one's only for gear. It does not work for runes, right? You cannot improve the runes, at least as of yet, right? At least as of August 2025, when I'm recording this, it only can improve these ones. It can only improve the gear, not the runes. So if we go ahead and click the Temper, and let's say use one of these ones, it's going to do an improvement of, it went up to 1.5. So let's see, you can try and use again, see if it goes higher, goes up to 2.5, and then let's see if I use it again, does it go higher, or can you reset to go lower? Let's see. Yep, it can go lower. Then you can choose to be like, save or abandon. Now, this is the quirky thing. I think if you roll lower, you would click the abandon, because if I click save, it goes to 2, right? If I click abandon, it's going to keep the 2.5. Let's just do it for testing. Yep, you see it use one of these ones, and it got the lower one. So these are going to be really important resources. The reset fluid, it's going to be extremely important. I would not spam using it. I would be careful with this. I would only, use it on big level stuff. So let's say do this, right? Let me try and find a good piece, for example, for floor. I think I had, yep, there we go. I had this one that's triple proficiency. Can I get the highest level one? Okay, I do. So this one, let me see. No, I don't. Damn it. Let me see. Maybe another one. Maybe the chest plate has proficiency, some flat attack. I guess let's just do it for testing. So let's say for the flat attack, again, I don't have it. Come on. But for something like this, I would go for the big one, right? Let's say it gives attack percent, and let's go for HP percent defense. What can I... Okay, this one. So let's say hit the, I don't know, 30, right? Let's say I hit the 30 with this one. Let's just do it, because why not? 25, this is obviously the lowest. So if you temper again, it should go higher. 45, that's the max. And this is the cool thing. Once you hit the max value, does not let you do it anymore, which makes sense, because you just waste the resources. But this is definitely worth keeping in mind when you use the reset fluid. If you do get lower ones, or if it's like, really important stat that you get, you want to make sure you only use it when you can have a lot more to lose. But the cool thing as well is the fact that the reset fluid can be farmed. Like you saw, they have a chance to drop, which, let me see. Can I do one of those runs to try and show you exactly the drop rate? It's still random. It does say, it's a high chance to drop, but still it's, it's not the highest like the other ones, but it's a pretty high. So this one is a little bit of RNG. Now let me get the team in there. Let's see, they do have the gear. Can you auto raid? Yep, you can auto raid, which is good. You can challenge up to 4. It says you don't have enough. Well, guess what? Let me buy the 2 more. Then we go ahead and let's do a 4 run, and let's see the rewards that we get. I guess I'm just gonna come back at the end after we beat it, so we can see out of 4 runs, what are exactly the drop rates? What do I actually get, right? So see you in a bit. Okay, there we go. Stage is done. So let's see, what did we get from 4 of them? So the initial one dropped me two of the, two of the normal ones, and then it also dropped me a reset fluid. And then the other 3, which was like, the 4 multiplier, dropped him with 5 plus 2, that's 7, plus 1, that's 8. So 3 split by 9. I guess with this one, that's a 9th piece. So it kind of seems like each run can drop like 3 things, right? So this was the initial one, which is 3, which is the equivalent. And this one was like 5 plus 2, 7, 8, 9. That's another 3. 9 split by 3, that's 3. So it kind of seems like the highest stage, at least on 12, you have a chance to drop 3 things. So I got quite a few of the crit rate ones. Yes, please, I'm gonna love this. Then I got 1 accuracy, then a couple of the defense percent, and again, another one, the reset fluid. So it's kind of like, definitely you want to get to stage 12. It shouldn't be as difficult, at least, from what I'm seeing. You see, okay, I do have some inspired ones, but they don't have that massive boost, right? Inspired 1 legendaries get like 8% extra attack, HP, and defense, which is not that huge. The effect of the inspiration is not that crazy, so it should be pretty doable. I might look into it. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want me to try and make, you know, free hero only teams for this one? Because if you do, I'm gonna make it. And like, you know, if you would be interested, like what would be the best teams to use for stages 12 of like, you know, at least you know, the free legendaries plus epics that are available for everybody. I can do videos on that. I can do it kind of like in a 2-part. One, just showing exactly my teams that I normally use, like you see this one. And then the other one could be mostly focused on the more free-to-play friendly, so to speak, even though the game gives us so many summons that we should be getting a ton of these. Like, for example, for this one, if you look at it, Torrent's free, Zarlath is free, Ladelia we get for free, just Premsa and Ripekas are the ones that I pulled, but they can be replaced. Ripekas can be actually, what's his name? Can be Urian, which we get for free, and then Premsa can be any other damage dealer that you choose, right? It can be just another summoner as a damage dealer. But that pretty much covers it for today. That pretty much is everything that you need to know about the Pillar of Trials, about the tempering the gear, and it's, you know what, it's really important. Definitely want to make sure that you do this because it can boost the account so much. It's crazy, right? The simplest example is, like I said, if we look at the crit rate boosts that we can get ourselves. For example, over here, if we temper it, if you get a maximum roll for crit rate, let's say it's 5, and you do that on 4 pieces of gear, you get 20% more crit rate just like that for most of your gear. So it should make it so much easier to get crit damage gloves and more crit damage on the substats on everything else that, you know, the damage is just gonna skyrocket for the teams. And that's gonna be really fun to see how far it can go with pushing the limits. But we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. If it was, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next. Don't forget to support me as a content creator using code OddOne in the binding page, right? Costs you nothing, would help me a ton. Just go over here, you get some free stuff, I get some free stuff, and if you do decide to spend, which I never encourage people to spend, but if you do decide, I get like 3% off of what you spent, and you know, it's gonna help me out. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.